Picture a cold, relentlessly rainy evening. The sky is dark, the wind is sharp, and the dampness seems to seep into your bones. You are walking home, shining a light into the shadows, when you look down into a shallow puddle beside a concrete wall. There, huddled in the freezing mud, you see a tiny, soaked creature. The fur is plastered completely flat against her fragile, bony skin, making her look incredibly small. Her eyes are squeezed shut against the rain. This is how we found Coco. She was not just wet, she was completely soaked to the bone. She was shaking so violently that her entire little body vibrated with the agonizing effort of just trying to stay alive. In that critical, heartbreaking moment, looking at a freezing, dirty, shivering cat like Coco, your heart immediately screams at you to do something drastic. You want to fix the situation instantly. You want to make her clean, warm, and safe all at once. But the very first action you take in these crucial seconds can literally mean the difference between saving her life and pushing her tiny body deeper into fatal shock. When a cat like Coco is entirely drenched in cold weather, her body loses vital heat incredibly fast. Her internal core temperature begins to plummet toward a dangerous threshold. A cat's normal body temperature is naturally higher than ours, sitting around 101 degrees. So when a cat feels genuinely cold to your human touch, they are already in a state of severe, life-threatening crisis. Her blood vessels constrict tightly. Her tiny heart has to work much harder just to pump blood to her vital organs. At this stage, her body is running purely on panic and the desperate fading instinct to survive. As rescuers, or even just as compassionate people who happen to find a stray animal in distress, we often act blindly on our own human instincts. We want to scrub away the awful mud. We want to apply intense, comforting heat. We want to see an immediate, magical transformation from a dirty stray to a clean, fluffy pet. This brings us to the first and most dangerous mistake people make when bringing a freezing, wet stray indoors. The immediate urge is to run a warm bath. It makes perfect logical sense to the human mind. If we were caught in a freezing winter downpour, stepping into a hot shower would be exactly what we need to feel better. We think the warm water will instantly heat the cat up and wash away the grime at the same time. But for a tiny cat suffering from hypothermia, being plunged into water is a massive, terrifying shock to their failing nervous system. Imagine how Coco experiences this exact moment. Her body is desperately trying to conserve whatever tiny bit of warmth she has left hidden deep in her core. Suddenly, she is picked up and submerged in a basin of water. Even if the water feels pleasantly warm to your hand, the sudden drastic change in temperature forces her constricted blood vessels to dilate rapidly. This sudden dilation draws the cold blood from her freezing paws and tail right back to her heart, actually dropping her internal core temperature even further. Instead of warming her up, a sudden bath can trigger immediate cardiac arrest. Furthermore, the water strips away any remaining natural oils in her fur, destroying her coat's natural ability to insulate her. The correct alternative to bathing is immediate, dry insulation. Instead of carrying her to the sink, your absolute first priority is to stop the heat from leaving her body. We took Coco and immediately wrapped her firmly in a thick, dry, incredibly soft fleece blanket. We did not take her to a bright, noisy bathroom. We carried her to a dim, quiet, draft-free room. The goal is to create a safe, dry cocoon. By wrapping her snugly, you trap her own escaping body heat inside the fabric, becoming her physical barrier against the cold room air. Once the cat is safely bundled in the towel, another common mistake happens almost immediately. The human instinct is to rub the wet fur vigorously. We inherently believe that rapid friction creates heat. We want to rub the icy water out of their coat as fast as physically possible. If you watch inexperienced people rescue animals, you will often see them scrubbing the fragile animal with a towel as if they are drying a wet car. For a frightened, freezing cat like Coco, this rough, chaotic handling is utterly terrifying. Her muscles are stiff and cramping from the cold. Her skin is highly sensitive and painful from the harsh weather. When you rub her violently, you are not comforting her. You are treating her like an inanimate object. To Coco, the aggressive movement feels exactly like a physical attack from a predator. It spikes her adrenaline, causing her heart to race, and wastes her precious remaining energy on sheer panic. The humane approach requires immense, deliberate gentleness. You do not rub, you blot. You press the dry towel firmly but softly against her wet fur to quietly absorb the moisture. When the first towel becomes damp and cold, you smoothly and calmly swap it for a fresh, dry one. With Coco, we did not scrub the mud away. We simply held her wrapped in the dry fleece. We used our own ambient body heat to help her slowly recover. Holding a shivering, wrapped cat gently against your chest provides a steady, safe, and entirely natural source of warmth. It also gives her the physical rhythm of your heartbeat and the gentle rise and fall of your breathing. This steady rhythm provides a grounding, physical sensation that finally signals to her exhausted brain that she is safe from the storm. As the wetness is slowly blotted away, people often grow impatient and turn to the next desperate measure. This is the third dangerous mistake: applying intense, direct, artificial heat. It is incredibly common to see well-meaning rescuers pull out a human hairdryer, turn it on high heat, and point it directly at a shivering kitten. Or they might place the cat directly on top of a hot metal radiator, or right in front of a blasting electric space heater. You must stop and remember what this feels like entirely from the cat's perspective. Coco is exhausted, disoriented, and deeply terrified of her new surroundings. Suddenly, a strange machine roars to life, blasting a hurricane of intensely hot, dry air directly into her face and sensitive ears. The mechanical noise alone is enough to send a feral or stray cat into a blind panic, causing them to thrash and injure themselves. More importantly, because her skin is dangerously cold and her circulation is compromised, she cannot properly feel how burning hot the air actually is. It is alarmingly easy to cause severe thermal burns on a cold cat's fragile skin without ever realizing you are hurting them. Direct, aggressive heat forces the surface of the skin to warm up entirely too fast, while the inside of her body remains dangerously, lethally cold. This unnatural imbalance can push a fragile cat straight into fatal shock. The right way to warm a cat like Coco is always gradual, ambient, and highly indirect. If you choose to use a heating pad, it must be set to the lowest possible setting. It must be wrapped in a thick towel, and it must only cover half of the space she is resting in. She must always, without exception, have the physical ability to crawl away from the heat source if she begins to feel too warm. We placed a rubber hot water bottle, tightly wrapped in a thick sweater, next to Coco. We did not force her body against it. We simply let the gentle, radiant heat slowly seep into her little enclosed space. We let her own body decide exactly how much warmth it needed to safely absorb. While you are patiently sitting with her, allowing her to warm up, there is a critical physical sign you must watch closely. You must strictly monitor the shivering. When we first brought Coco inside from the rain, her tiny teeth were chattering loudly, and her paws were trembling so hard she could not stand. It is incredibly hard to watch an innocent animal shake like that. Your immediate instinct is to find a way to stop the shivering instantly. But shivering is actually a vital, life-saving survival mechanism. It is Coco's muscles rapidly contracting and relaxing over and over to generate internal body heat. As long as she is shivering, her body is actively fighting to stay alive. This is where many people go wrong by misunderstanding the signs. The true danger comes if the shivering suddenly stops, but her body still feels cold and limp to the touch. This is a severe, terrifying warning sign. It means her muscles have completely exhausted their final energy stores, and her body is shutting down and giving up the fight. If a freezing cat stops shivering, but is not yet comfortably warm, they are slipping into the final fatal stages of hypothermia. During those first few crucial hours with Coco, we did not leave her side. We sat silently beside her and simply watched her breathe. We waited patiently for the violent, exhausting shaking to slow down naturally, indicating that the ambient warmth from the blankets and our bodies had finally reached her freezing core. Hours passed in that quiet room. Coco finally stopped trembling. Her breathing deepened into a steady rhythm. She even let out a tiny, exhausted sigh, uncurled her stiff paws, and rested her chin on the blanket. She was finally warm, but she was still incredibly dirty. There was dark mud dried completely onto her tail, and dirty street water smudged across her nose. This is the final mistake many rescuers make. They look at the sleeping cat and think, she is finally warm now, so it is obviously time for that bath we skipped earlier. But rushing the bath, even hours later, is still a profound mistake. A cat recovering from severe cold and shock needs absolutely all of her energy just to stabilize her internal organs and process the trauma. A full water bath is an incredibly stressful, exhausting event for any cat. It requires massive amounts of physical and mental energy to endure the handling, the strange water, the smell of soap, and the long drying process that inevitably follows. The absolute, unbreakable rule of handling a wet, cold stray is this: prioritize keeping them warm first and bathe them much, much later. In fact, you should not fully bathe a rescued cat until they are completely warm, fully hydrated, willingly eating food, and showing normal, relaxed energy levels. Sometimes this recovery process takes days. For Coco, we did not give her a real bath for almost a full week. In those critical first few hours, after she was thoroughly warm, dry, and medically stable, we simply used a soft, clean cloth, barely dampened with warm water. We gently wiped the worst of the gritty mud from her face and her tiny paws. We did not soak her fur. We did not use soap. We just helped her feel a little bit more comfortable so she could begin to lick her own paws and groom herself naturally. Rescuing a freezing cat is an exercise in profound, selfless patience. It It requires you to fight your own human urge to fix everything perfectly all at once. It forces you to step back, breathe, and let the animal's traumatized body heal at its own slow pace. When you find a desperate, soaked cat like Coco, you must remember that cleanliness can always wait. A dirty cat can easily survive the night, but a freezing cat cannot. Prioritize the gentle, dry wrap above all else. Blot the water away. Do not ever rub. Warm them slowly, safely, and indirectly. Keep a close, watchful eye on their shivering, understanding what it truly means. And leave the soap, the running water, and the scrubbing for another day. Today, in this critical moment, you are not a groomer. You are simply providing a safe, warm harbor against the storm. Look at Coco now, weeks after that terrible rainy night. Her coat is thick, incredibly soft, and brilliantly clean. But she did not get that way from a rushed, frantic bath on her first terrifying night indoors. She survived and eventually thrived because someone chose to wrap her gently in a dry towel, hold her close in the quiet room, and just patiently let her be warm.